How would I fix Jaws the Revenge? It'll still be called Jaws the Revenge, but it will be focused more on the suspense and terror of the first film. Maybe we could have a new shark terrorizing a different town, and the Brody's family could be brought in to help it stop the shark. And we can also explore the psychological effect of the surviving shark attack, which could add some more emotional and weight to the story. And another way to fix Jaws the Revenge would be to have more character development and the interaction between the Brody's family members, and we could see them struggling to come to terms with the trauma of the previous films and try to come and try to rebuild their lives. There could be some tension between them as they deal with their own personal demons, but ultimately they could come together and face a new threat. We could also have some new characters that add to the story, like a marine biologist or a sharks expert who can help them understand the shark behavior. Maybe bring back Hooper from the first movie. He wasn't in the second one, so why not bring him in the fourth one or the third one? So, bringing Matt Hooper will be a great way to tie in to the first film into the story, so we can see him as more of a seasonal marine biologist with a lot of knowledge and experience to share. And he could also be a mentor to the new generation of scientists or another Matt Hooper, like another next generation. So we can teach them what sharks are and how they behave and stuff. And he could help the Brody family understand the shark behavior. And we can also explore his relationship with the Brody's family. How have they been affected by their experience with the sharks? So it would have been a great idea to fix Jaws the Revenge with these ideas because there's a lot of problem with Jaws for the Revenge, and this could actually help it bring back its old roots, like lightning in the bottle type. Can do that. And the thing is, people are going to be asking, why was Matt Hooper not in Jaws 2? Let's just say he was busy with other research and project at the time. Maybe he was studying a different species of sharks or working on a different part of the world. We could say that he had a fallout with Chief Brody after the events of the first film or the second movie, but they didn't speak for a while. But Jaws the Revenge could reconcile and work together to stop a new shark. Maybe we could like add more depth to the fourth one and the second one. And plus, we're gonna ignore Jaws 3 because Jaws 3 is just its own entity and its own uh, little universe, its own world. So this could be a definitive sequel to Jaws 1, Jaws 2, but ignoring Jaws 3 and just doing it with the Halloween series, basically, like how they did it with the 2018 Halloween movie, basically like that. So let's continue how we're gonna fix the fourth Jaws film. And also to add more in depth to the uh, for Jaws the Revenge, we explore the events of the previous film that affects the Brody's family. We could see Michael Brody and Sean struggling with PTSD and trying to come to terms with their experience. We could also show how the relationship with each other been affected and how they are coping with their own ways. Like maybe Michael has become more withdrawn and distant with Sean and has become more reckless and thrill seeking. And we could also explore how Chief Brody is dealing with the aftermath and he's trying to protect the family from further harm. Overall, I think this would add more emotional depth to the story and make the audience care about more of the character itself, like keep going with because they suffer so much in Jaws too. They lost a lot of people, they lost a lot of friends. It could affect Sean and Mike Brody, especially Sean. He went through so much. He saw a shark eat a girl in front of his eyes. So it would make so much sense for them to have PTSD because They've been through so much, so damn much. Who wouldn't? I mean, I would be scared if I see a shark eating a person, and I love sharks and I respect sharks, but seeing that could also change your perspective on the shark itself and make it more grounded in reality, basically. I know what you guys are thinking. Sean Brody dies from the shark, but there's more in depth to this. Sean would be able to fight back against the shark, even though he attacked him. That could definitely be a cool moment in the film. Maybe Sean is out on a boat where where when the shark attacks and he's able to use his knowledge of sharks to offend off, or maybe he's able to some kind of makeshift weapon to fight back. We can also explore the events affect Sean's character, how he dealt with the trauma of the shark attack. Overall, I think it could be a very exciting and memorable moment in the film. Turn Sean Brody into a badass. Maybe Sean stabs the shark in the eye, but the shark wouldn't care as much. But overall, Sean Brody could go out as a hero. And also, this will make so much sense because the movie is called Jaws: The Revenge. And you know who's taking it personal? Chief Brody and Matt Hooper. And the reason why Chief Brody is taking its revenge because Sean died from the shark and he's pissed. And I know why Matt Hooper wants his revenge on the shark because Quint died in the first movie. And Matt wants to take the shark out because you know why? Because he killed his friend. And here's how it's gonna go down. They both team up, take down the shark once and for all. Maybe they come up with a plan to lure the shark into a trap or use some kind of high-tech equipment to track it down. We could see them use their combined knowledge and to outsmart the shark and finally defeat it. And of course, we want to see a satisfying conclusion to the story where the characters are able to move on from their traumatic experience and find some kind of closure. However, it would be a great way to end the film with a high note, leaving the audience feeling satisfied. And I'm gonna give you the ending to Jaws: The Revenge, a badass and an amazing ending to the fourth and final installment. Or maybe we could make a Jaws 5. Who knows? Who knows? That's just a thought of my own idea. As a badass conclusion to the ending would be a great way to wrap up and leaving the audience feeling satisfied. Maybe we could see Chief Brody and Matt Hooper taking it down the shark in a tense and exciting way with a lot of action and suspense. And then we could have a satisfying epilogue where we see the characters moving on from their traumatic experience and finding some kind of peace. We could also explore how the events affect the town of Amity, but however, coming together and rebuild moving forward could also be a really exciting and memorable way to end the film. And plus, how does Matt Hooper and Chief Brody take down the shark? There are so many ways you can do it. The way to kill the shark creatively and badassery. Uh, Maybe they could use a explosive device to blow up the shark. Or another possibility that they could use a harpoon gun to shoot the shark with a deadly projectile, or use some kind of specialized fishing net or a trap in to not make the shark escape and maybe kill it. But it will involve a lot of planning and preparation, as well as great deal to encourage bravery on the part of the character. We could also want to see a lot of action and suspense to take down the shark with the fate of the town of Amity hanging in the balance. Overall, it would have been an exciting and memorable sequence in the film. And also to have more in depth with the movie, Matt Hooper has a flashback to Quint and telling him his experience with hunting sharks. We can see the same footage of in the original Jaws film, but a new perspective. This could be a great way to explore Quint's character in more in depth, to give Matt Hooper some additional insight into the dangers of hunting sharks. It could also be a great way to tie into the new film back to its original, to pay homage to the classic scenes and character that made Jaws such an icon, like an amazing and iconic film. Overall, this would have been a really cool moment in the film. It would have been so great to have Quint come back like as a flashback in some sort of form. Matt Hooper could additionally flashback to Quint. Perhaps he's working on his plan to take down the shark. We could see more of Quint's character and his backstory, learning about his motivation experience. This could be a great way to deepen the relationship between Hooper and Quint, to explore more of the themes of the original Jaws film and more in depth. Could be a great way to give the new film with its unique character and voice to pay homage to the classic scene and the character that made the original so iconic. Overall, I think it would have been interesting and engaging way to develop the story a lot more and make the audience feel home to the first movie. And it's a direct sequel to Jaws and Jaws 2. Even though Quint wasn't in Jaws 2, I want to give more in depth to Matt Hooper and Quint because both characters are just legendary characters, man. They're one of my favorite characters, especially uh, Chief Brody. He's one of the most badass character. All three of them are. So we could get some sort of a flashback scene of Quint and Hooper's relationship in the first movie that we didn't get to see. And that is how you make a Jaws 4 movie. No revenge plot with the shark, no vengeance. Sharks having its vengeance and stalking the Brody's family. No roars, just ground it in reality and make it like how the first and the second one is and make it like that. But more up the ante with the gore and the suspense and everything. But just make the shark. You don't see the shark like mostly, but you could see a shadow of it or whatever. Just make it like unknown. Even though we've seen the shark in the second one a lot more, and also the third one, but make it more mysterious again, and show less of the shark a little bit, and make it more scarier, more terrifying than the first two movies. Bringing that back like that, and and make it a wonderful and beautiful Jaws sequel, the final or maybe the final installment for the Jaws franchise. Make Jaws great again. So that's how I would fix Jaws: The Revenge. And thank you for listening to my uh, story that I put in my in my uh in my notebook that I've been working on. Took me like at least 30 hours, I'll say, to write this and put it in my mind. A lot of grammar issues, a lot of stuff, but I hope it makes sense and I hope you enjoy my alternative version for Jaws: The Revenge. Thank you for listening.